Hey guys, how are we doing? It's Martin and Cliff here, and I thought in this video I'd give you a little bit of a behind the scenes. Now I've got my lighting set up in here, just so you can see how it's going on. Hopefully it looks a little bit better. I'm using some Aputure lights, the LS-Mini set, and I actually have two sets of them, so I've got 6 lights, in fact 7 lights as you'll see in a minute, dotted around the room in different places, performing different lighting functions. And I'll grab the handheld camera and just show you how I've got this set up. My approach is always to try and keep things as simple as possible, as uncluttered as possible, so that it doesn't distract me from getting on with my work. And I will be shooting a video in the next few days showing some of what I do for work. So yeah, I hope this is an interesting little behind the scenes thing. There'll be some things that are more specific for when I'm shooting guitar videos, so I'll explain them along the way. I've had to switch sound recording mode to auto because I'm not entirely sure what it's going to pick up, but I'm just stood outside the door of my room and you'll already see some of the lights in place. Unfortunately I have some 3M dual lock down here on the wall. That's from when I had my desk and my whole room the other way around, and I had a 4-way multi-socket up there, and it's just really difficult to get off, so that's had to stay. And you can see that this is where the Ethernet comes in, so I've got that pinned all the way around to where the computer is in the other corner. Also, unfortunately, some more dual lock on the wall where one of my picture frames was. Because of where that is, unfortunately it got damp and went mouldy. But here we have, as you see, my guitar rack with my 5 electric guitars that I actually play. So from left to right we've got my Les Paul in E flat, my Les Paul in drop D, and then blue and all red that are both in E standard, and Mikey on the right that is also in E flat. And behind that you can see there's a little rack with some shelves which has just essential gear that I need for filming, and a few cables and then tools and stuff under there. And that's the 2 Black Star amps. Now you'll see immediately that actually clipped to the guitar rack is a light, this light here, which is pointed roughly at the guitar when I'm going to be filming guitar stuff. So that's really handy. And then there's a light here, which in daylight doesn't do a whole lot, but when it's dark it provides me with a nice side light on the left hand side of my face. And you'll see there's some cloth there, that actually is to diffuse an LED strip light. I have them on all 3 corners. Keyboard rig is down here, with my neck cushion in behind it, which actually, as well as being handy for a couple of things, you know, travel and other stuff, it also just stops things getting knocked into the back of the keyboard stand. Keyboard pedal board is down there, just with sustain pedals and a ditto looper and a little mini mixer. And then you'll see there's the camera that I was shooting with earlier, and the other tripod, which is where this camera normally goes. This is an EOS 200 that I use for the guitar shots, and that's the EOS 80D on a really not very good Manfrotto tripod. It's a little bit wobbly, but it does what's needed. And there's the light, that's the key light. I've got a filter that diffuses and just warms up the light slightly. That one is actually one of the Mini 20Cs, which is set warmer because you can change the colour. The other, there's 4 D lights which are just daylight parts, and then there's 2 C lights that are colour changing. And as you can see, I've got it by kind of jimmy rig on a little platform with the battery mounted behind it. I'm running all the lights off battery, just for ease of use. They're rechargeable. Down below that I have my iPad, which I'm not using at the moment, but I keep any notes I need on there. And then a little tiny battery powered LED Aputure panel that is really good. My computer itself, with the keyboard that I use when I'm working in Sibelius, and then over the top is the Tascam DR40. When I'm just recording voiceover, I don't necessarily need to use it flashing rather than recording. headphone output feeds into the other camera, so I'm getting the audio whether or not I'm recording. When I'm recording guitar, though, always make sure that's recording, because it records the two XLR inputs in the back separately. They come from the microphones on the guitars, which you can probably just about see down here. So they're Sennheiser E906s. And then there's a light clamped to the desk there in this corner, which is actually set to provide a little bit of rim lighting, light the back of my head and give me separation from the wall. Two more lights that you wouldn't have spotted are actually up in the ceiling. So the light on the right has some filters in, and it's just casting a kind of warm glow on the back wall. I don't know how well it'll show up in camera, but it does make a difference. And finally, this light is pointing essentially straight down on my head when I'm sat in my chair. And the whole setup is set up so that the microphones are just above my head. The light is pointing at my head, but missing the microphones, so I don't get a weird shadow over my head. And yeah, that's basically it. Down on the desk, you'll see I have my phone on charge, my Microsoft, I can't remember what the keyboard and mouse setup is, but I like it. It has a separate numeric keypad, which you might think it's weird having it on the left, but if you've ever worked in Sibelius and doing note entry, you need to change note values and stuff using the numeric keypad, so it's easy to have that with my left hand on it while I'm entering notes on the keyboard. And then there is a multi-card reader, a Lexar, professional workflow, something like that. And a couple of coasters, a nice little bowl with some picks in, multivitamin tablets, just so to remind me to have them at breakfast. And then just behind there is an Xbox controller for the odd occasion when I play games. And finally, my bass, which is currently my MRTRB, just because my Mike Lull is bagged up ready for church. But there's always that bass, and the chair itself is an Aeron chair, the new Aeron chair from Herman Miller. A really good chair. So I hope that things are looking better with these new lighting setup, and B, that this little behind the scenes thing was of interest to you. I've got to go off and run a rehearsal now, but as I'll be shooting another video, I can't really film the rehearsals and any of the stuff I do with students because that's a very difficult issue. But my behind the scenes work that I do, arranging and all that kind of thing, I can certainly show you. So I'll shoot that and it'll be up in the next few days. Hope everyone's well. Please like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you want to see in the next few weeks on this channel, and until next time, take care and I'll speak to you soon.